Hello and welcome to Kerbal Space Program. This is Space Warfare, and in this series we are going to be fighting rival space agencies for control of, space. So let's get right to it. In the last episode we sent the Corvus I to get into orbit around Kerbin and do some sights with Mystery Goo, which was a success. And we also did a bit of science with Mystery Goo in and around the KSC. In this episode, we are going to be using the Corvus II, which is basically a modified version of the Corvus I, to try and get a flyby of Kerbin's first moon. So let's go to the VAB and check this rocket out. Alright, now this is the Corvus II, and as you can see we've replaced the small solid fuel boosters with the larger solid fuel boosters, and we have also added a materials bay on top and replaced half of our top stage fuel with it. Now, I actually found out what happened with the oxidizer is I somehow managed to accidentally use the tweakables and set the fuel tank at like half oxidizer, although I'm not sure how I managed to do that. Anyway, let's just get to the launch pad and get this rocket going. And away we go. So, the purpose of this mission is to do a flyby of the moon and gather as much sights as we can using the material bay and the Mystery Goo and, well, pretty much anything we can do. So, as you can see, our solid fuel is running quite low, and I actually attached this a little bit too early, and you see them just fly up there. That could have caused a lot of damage if they had had a bit more fuel and come down with more force. But fortunately, they didn't have much left, so they just slid off and fell back down. Anyway, another purpose of this mission is we also want to test the capability of this design because we might be able to use it for a future mission to land on the moon. But for now, we are just going to do a flyby. So if I just skip to orbit now. So we have our maneuver node, and now we are going to start burning towards the moon. Obviously quite slowly because we've only got one engine powering us over there, but we should have plenty of fuel to get us there. Let's just check the fuel levels. Yeah, I've still got over half our fuel in the main tank. We've also got our little separate tank in case we run out. But as you might have noticed, once we've finished with this maneuver node, it should give us a free return trajectory. So once we've done our flyby of the moon, we shouldn't have to, well, once we've done this maneuver node, we shouldn't have to spend any more fuel, and our orbit will just take us around. We'll do a flyby of the moon, get all the science, and then we should just go back into Kerbin's atmosphere, where it will drag our apparatus back down, and then we'll land using the parachutes basically. But as you can see, we've not quite got our free return trajectory set out just yet. So as I'm just tweaking this really slowly with the throttle about, I'm not even sure what fraction that is, but I'm just really slowly trying to get this into where the node. There we go. I think that's about right. That seems good. Yeah, only 1 kilometre off my original one, which isn't bad considering how off our trajectory was to begin with. And we've still actually got quite a lot of fuel in our main tank. We haven't even had to use a breath of fuel with our little main tank, well, our little secondary tank. So now let's just time warp over to the moon. And arrival. Great, so we have just entered the moon's sphere of influence, which means we should be able to get plenty of science. Just open the materials bay. Oh, great. Let's keep that data. Do some Mystery Goo experiments. Great. Crew reports. Oh, loads of science. Let's do EVA reports. Now I reckon we should give Jeb a bit of fun, considering last time he was outside in space with nothing but his spacesuit. All he did was hold on to the ladder. Let's just see what he does, shall we? Okay then. Good for you, Jeb. Great. Let's just hope he doesn't mess around once we, get into a combat situation, or we might get in a bit of trouble. So, just see Jeb returning to the pod now. If we can grab onto the ladder, that is. There we go. Okay, great. Now, also, once we've left the moon surveillance, we should be high over Kerman, which will allow us to do another mystery go experiment. However, we've only got one material bay, so we'll have to collect high altitude data with that at another time, because you can only do one experiment with a material bay at a time, and we've only got one. So just get some from mystery go. Great. Also, the fact that we've managed to get here without even using all the fuel in our central stage is very promising for the prospect of being able to get to the moon and land with a very similar design. I think we might even be able to get some landing legs on this bottom stage, and just add a bit more, not on the bottom, on the top stage where the pod is, and just add a couple of fuel tanks to help assist it with getting back off. So let's just see there. Let's just re-enter Kerman's atmosphere and collect this science. Alright, so we're just coming down now. Just fire the engine a little bit. Don't really need to, but anyway, not. And touchdown. There we go. We're at a very odd angle. I'll just correct that. There we go. Okay, let's no, we can't do that. Let's get Jeb out and take a EVA report and surface sample, because I think we're in a different biome here. So just jump off. Okay, so there we go. Some more science and surface sample. So we're in the desert. Okay, great. Now there's no ladder, so we can't get Jeb back into the pod, so we'll just have to recover him, then the pod separately. So let's just recover the pod now. There we go. 166 sites from that. That is nice. So next episode we will be researching more tech, and we might even do a lunar landing. But until then, I'm 80,000 Army. Thanks for watching.